Hello! It's another extra episode from the Esoteric Podcast.
Hello, everyone. This is Travis with the Esoteric Podcast. With me is Wesley. We are coming to you on this special episode because I saw an article on Forbes this past week. I saw it on Saturday.
Yeah, it was Saturday. Yeah, you saw it Saturday because I remember having to sit through that wine tasting and be like, this is awesome!
Yes, okay. I saw the article yesterday, on Saturday. Wes, are you going to edit this at all?
I was thinking we'd just go with our tangents as per usual.
Good to know. So, okay. Saturday, because I don't even know what day Wesley's uploading this. Saturday, November something, 5th.
5th.
Is when I saw it. The article originally came out on the 2nd of November, Wednesday. But it's an article about a new tech company. Well, they're not really new. They've been around for 6 years now. But they're a tech company from Florida called Magic Leap. And they are delving into the world of mixed reality in a new and interesting way, we think.
Theoretically.
Yeah. I say we think because they are very secretive, and basically everything we know comes from the few impressions that reporters have had from when they were allowed in to see it and not told to sign NDAs, like the Forbes article. The Forbes article that I'm referring to will be linked in the description below this video if you want to check out the Forbes article. So there's very little information, but from what information we have, and some theories, I read a Gawker article, I want to say. No, Gawker's not right. Gizmodo. Aha. See, it starts with a G. I read a Gizmodo article from like 2 years ago where Gizmodo had heard about this company, and 2 years ago we knew even less. But they poured over the company's patent filings and started coming up with ideas. Some of what that article suggested has been revealed to be largely true with regard to this product. And yeah, if it is as cool as the theory makes it sound, it's going to be super badass.
We did. So compared to what the other products that we have, like this one that are coming out soon, Google Glasses and Google Glass, and then whatever the heck Microsoft HoloLens is.
Microsoft's HoloLens, yeah.
This seems like something that's going to be infinitely more superior.
Otherwise known as infinitely superior.
Yes, infinite. Yes.
Yeah. No, this technology, because Google Glass and even the Microsoft HoloLens are limited in that what they are doing is they have a screen that appears in front of you, and it's on a pair of glasses. And basically what it is there are a couple of projectors right up near the edge of the lens that project the image out onto the lens. Like a monitor or a screen or whatever. And that's what you see. But what that means is that it is sitting there right on the lens, the pair of glasses right in front of you. Which means if you turn your head and look out your peripheral vision, anybody who wears glasses, regular glasses, sunglasses, they can tell you, you can turn your head and look out of your peripheral vision and bam, you are not actually looking through your glasses lens anymore.
Yeah.
You can look over the top of your glasses. You can look under them. And this projection technology means that not even the full lens is capable of projecting or being used as a projection surface. For things like virtual reality, this is overcome because you've got those big goggles on and your peripheral vision is completely blacked out. And then they put in some lenses that distort the screen image and makes it look like the screen is stretched over into your peripheral vision. So that's the way that works. But with mixed reality and AR is I don't remember.
Altered reality.
But anyway, yes, that one. With those two systems, you can't do that because the whole purpose is you can wear them while in the real world. You can see both the real world and the altered reality and the mixed reality.
Yeah.
And in these systems, the HoloLens and the glass, it's a screen in front of you. It is only got so much space, and it's only directly in front of you. Whereas this new one, based upon this patent research and my understanding of the buzzwords and stuff that they were throwing around in their marketing, basically what they're doing is they are projecting the light directly onto your retina from the lens. Yeah. So it's not a thing that is projected onto the lens in front of you. It is actually projected onto the eye itself.
Yes.
So when you turn your eye and look to your peripheral vision, there's some sort of sensors or cameras or something that tracks your eye movement, so that if the item is supposed to be like directly in front of you, and then you turn to look out of your peripheral vision, you look to your left or whatever, the projection is changing so it stays looking directly in front of you. Now it looks like it's in your peripheral vision because of the way it's sending it. Or if you're looking directly ahead, even though it's not directly through the lens, you could have something appearing in your peripheral vision because the light is being broadcast into your eye in such a way that it looks like it's over there in your peripheral vision.
Yeah, it's one of the things like just hearing about that itself, I'm excited for, but skeptical of at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know how well it's going to work. I mean, technically, everybody who's seen it, assuming it's even working the way I just described, they say it actually works very well. So,
okay.
I have great confidence in it working. Also, there are rumors. Once again, nothing substantiated. There are rumors that at least anything that you're looking at through the glasses directly ahead of you, using similar technology to what they use in 3D glasses on like Sony televisions and stuff.
Yeah.
You will actually have an occluded section of the glasses. So like if you're supposed to have a large dragon in front of you that is not supposed to be a see-through dragon, the part where the dragon is supposed to be will be occluded so that the light from the room around you will be blocked off. So it will not be a dragon superimposed over things, because the other things will be blocked.
Yeah.
So, like, if you had the dragon directly in front of you, but you were staring at a computer monitor, and it was between you and the computer monitor, in most of these, like Google Glass and HoloLens and stuff, the brightness of the light from the computer monitor behind the image will still show through the image, and it will make the image look translucent or semi-transparent. But with this, if it's actually doing this, it will occlude that light from where that image should be, meaning all you'll see is the dragon. You won't see that bright monitor behind the dragon.
Yeah, and that's, again, this technology, just looking at it, excites me to no end. It's like...
Yes. Now, once again, I don't know whether or not they are even including that occlusion technology. So, if they are, that will be super, super fucking cool. I don't know if they are, though. But then, the other reason systems like Glass and HoloLens suck, if you haven't seen the Microsoft HoloLens yet, go look up a picture of the Microsoft HoloLens. It is practically a
I just realized what it
halo of plastic.
I just realized what it kind of reminds me of. Cyclops' visor.
No, Cyclops' visor is way more low profile than this stupid thing.
Yeah. Well, just, I guess I don't have a good justification for that, actually.
No, this is a massive piece of plastic. Due to the fact that they are incorporating headphones into the HoloLens, it does wrap around over your ears, and then it wraps around all the way to your back of your head with a strap, except because it's got this big, massive thing of plastic, the plastic practically meets itself behind your head.
Yeah.
And it just looks like this massive, stupid fucking thing. Google Glass doesn't look any better. And the reason for both of those is that they are putting the electronics, the part that broadcasts the image, and all that up into the glass.
Mm-hmm.
So like on the Google Glass, it's got that little thing that appears over in front of you, you know. And then on the HoloLens, well, it's got those little broadcasters right next to the lens that is broadcasting it out onto the lens. And they all look stupid. There's this big piece of plastic because that's where the in the case of the HoloLens, that's where they're going to put all the electronics that do this. I think Google Glass pairs with your cell phone, right?
I believe so.
So they require less processing power and stuff up into this, but they still require, you got to have a thing to connect to Bluetooth. You still need a projector, all of that. Once again, this is a rumor, but a rumor about the Magic Leap. Magic Leap, thank you. I'm terrible with names. But yeah, the Magic Leap, one of the suggestions is that this relies on fiber optic technology. The theory being that rather than having a bunch of electronics up on your head, you'd basically be wearing a pair of glasses. There'd be a couple of little fiber optic ends. So the stems on your glasses might be a little thicker, but there'd be some fiber optic ends that would broadcast against the lens, and the lens would reflect it into your light, or into your eye. Mm-hmm. So there'd probably be some calibration involved, I would think. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there has to be some sort of cameras and trackers on this somehow, but they can usually make those pretty small these days. And let's face it, cameras can also be operated from fiber optics. So you could easily just have a fiber optic that is pointing at your eye, but instead of broadcasting, it's capturing the light. And all of this would then go, like, dangle off of the end of one of the earpieces on your glasses in a small little, theoretically as small as, say, like a speaker, headphone wire, coming off of your ear, going down to a box. How large this box would be, nobody knows. But it could, theoretically fit in your pocket or hang off your belt looking like a cell phone.
Yeah, and I'd be really interested to see that.
Yeah. And there is, hanging on your hip or in your pocket or wherever the hell it is where all the electronics are. So you would just look like you're wearing glasses. And then you'd have this technology on your face that fucking does these amazing things. It's supposed to track your eye movement. It's supposed to track the world around you and superimpose stuff over your eye, to help superimpose things over your eyes, so it knows where desks are. So if it's an object, or if the thing that it is projecting is supposed to be, say, behind your desk, it won't intersect the desk. It knows where the desk is, and it cuts the image off. I've heard it works. The biggest concern, and this is an older concern, is 2-3 years ago, when this project first came to light, the only information anybody had was from their test version, which was referred to as the Beast. And it is apparently this massive contraption. To be fair, the company Magic Leap recognizes, there is no way that you're going to get this, that you're going to sell this. You're not going to have people strapping this to your fucking head, this Beast. So they immediately went out and started hiring some of the best engineers that money can buy. And they have a lot of money. But so they went out to hire some of the best engineers that money can buy to shrink this technology. How shrunk they've got it, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I think it would be epic if this thing like hangs on your hip. It's got a stereo mini jack, so you can fucking buy whatever headphones you want, slap them on, and bam.
I'd love for that. This
Yeah.
needs to be a thing. Like now.
The theories that this is going to be used for range from awesome things like games. In fact, they are working with the.
Did you see the demo?
No, I did not play the video for the demo.
They actually used it for a game.
Yeah, no, they're working with the Weta Workshop. The Weta Workshop, of course, is most famous for doing the special effects in the Lord of the Rings movies.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, they're working on those. In fact, several of the Weta Workshop guys are on the board for this company. They are working with the lab that Industrial Light and Magic set up last year, that they set up just to experiment with fun shit. So they already got some demos with C-3PO and R2-D2 involved.
Oh, wow. It's awesome, man.
But yeah, so they could do games. Shooters is a... shooter games is one of the theories that they've been...
Yeah, that was the demo, was a first-person shooter.
Because they're also working with, like, some Toys to Life companies. So theoretically, you might have a physical blaster gun that you fucking bought at a store that Weta Workshop designed. And you fucking pointed it at invisible things on the screen, and these new technology freaking picks up the fact that you are pointing this Weta Workshop gun at...
yeah, that's something they did in the demo.
Yeah. And so that would be awesome. They're talking about completely replacing all of the technology, not all of it, a lot of the technology in the office with it. Because if you get an email, bam, you can bring it right up in front of you. Obviously, they're going to have to invent some sort of new interface. One of the theories is... actually, they already have a patent out for some gloves. So there may be some gloves. Obviously, they're going to have to be really thin, really, because people don't like wearing gloves all the damn times. Mm-hmm. So if they can't squeeze them on and make them, comfortable, they're not going to wear the damn things.
Yeah.
But, maybe some gloves, and you could do some Minority Report shit. Yeah. It's also possible that the glasses, if the cameras are good enough in them, won't need the gloves for some inputs. It'd be able to just recognize your fingers.
That actually was, again... Gosh, that demo showed off a lot.
Yeah.
There was like a little app that was supposed to represent Gmail, and the person just picked it up, put it on their desk, clicked it, like not actually clicked it, touched it, but clicked it with their hand in the air, and it brought up Gmail, and they started scrolling through it.
Yeah. So once again, we're gonna have to get our hands on this before we actually know, because the interface is going to be a big thing in this. I mean, if you want to replace all the monitors and stuff in your office with it, that'll be fine. But if the interface is not as good as, say, a mouse and keyboard, nobody's gonna want to use it.
Yeah.
Because it goes back to the same thing, like motion controls in video games. A lot of the things that motion controls do helped games. I mean, playing golf using a Wii remote as a club, and bowling with the Wii remote as the ball, and tennis with the Wii remote as a racket, those were all things that benefited from motion controls. But things like waving the Wii remote around to punch people without a one-to-one punching correspondence. What was that launch game? Marvel something. There was a Marvel beat-em-up game Except you had to friggin' wave the control, like punching instead of pressing A was like waggle the Wii remote. So you were basically sitting there beating off all day. And this is before Travis Touchdown and what was that game? Crap. No More Heroes. That's the name of the game.
No More Heroes.
Made beating off with the Wii remote an integral part of the game.
That just sounds so weird.
But yeah, things like that. Why are we waving the remote control around? Why are we not just pushing the A button? It's so much faster. It's so much easier. And depending upon what you're trying to do for a golf and a tennis game, let's face it, pushing the A button is still easier for golf. You're going to get a lot more accurate shots. Let's face it, if you actually want to golf, you can grab some clubs and go outside and golf. For a lot of people, they wouldn't want that kind of game because pressing a button is easier, and they are playing the game so they have skill in the game, not so they have skill in real golf.
Yeah.
So yeah, these guys are going to need the proper interface. Otherwise, nobody's going to want to use the damn thing. And I don't actually know what that interface would be. I don't have the technology in my hands, but
yeah,
let's face it. If I wanted to type an email, yes, it would be super cool if I could just somehow hit a button, cause a keyboard to appear on any flat surface, and then beep, 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 and it picks up what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But then again, it would have to be super duper accurate, because anytime somebody screws up typing, they're going to blame the software, not their own hands.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure you remove as much of the software actually being involved as you can. And then, I don't know about you, Wesley, but I do a lot of typing, because as some people who are fans of this podcast know, I am a writer by trade. I do a lot of writing, and if I don't have a physical key to push down, I can't type as well. I'd lose track of where my hands are on the keyboard.
Yeah, it's that physical feedback, which is a lot of people's problems with games like Skyrim or any of the Elder Scrolls games. You don't have that physical feedback.
I'm confused. Skyrim breaks their keyboard, so they don't have physical feedback?
No, the feedback of feeling like a sword hitting someone and trying to get good at it's a thing I remember hearing from a reviewer. It's unrelated to this tangent. It's
also probably misinterpreted.
Probably.
Because unless you're doing Elder Scrolls in
VR,
you aren't your brain is not expecting to get hit by the sword.
Yeah.
In that case, what that person would be referring to would actually be that the character doesn't react in the way that you would expect them to getting hit by a sword.
Yeah, that's probably what they meant.
Where when you slash somebody with a sword, they just stand there and slash back at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they weren't actually hit with a sword. They are not clutching their chest in pain. They're not,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not expecting haptic feedback through my mouse and keyboard while playing Elder Scrolls.
That'd be an interesting time, but not expecting it.
Yeah. Now, if this company is doing something with gloves, where the gloves are somehow have haptic sensors in your fingers or something, so that when you're clicking things and touching things, your fingers can actually tell the difference between when they're on the keys versus when they're off the keys, then that would go a long way towards getting the one of those anywhere keyboards actually working well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what kind of inputs they're going to use. If they want to completely replace all office all office equipment, get rid of mice, keyboards, monitors, have it be this thing you wear so that you can literally, view anything you want. If you just want to sit at your desk, okay, fine. The screen's right there in front of you. The super fun thing is the program somehow knows where the screen is. So when you turn your head, the screen doesn't follow you. It's still right there where you fucking left it.
Yeah.
You have to turn back to see it. You know, and there's probably a button to put it right back in front of you again, or whatever.
Mm.
But yeah, so it looks like it can be an amazing fucking technology if the interface is right and if it's actually doing what it says it is. Because by the sounds of it, it is practically going to be a slightly thicker pair of glasses. For anybody who wears glasses already, the question then becomes, can we get it in a prescription? Because otherwise, I'm out. I wear glasses.
Yeah.
So yeah, without it. Without it coming in a prescription, I'm incapable of wearing it. I'm not wearing a second pair of glasses. That's another thing I hate about 3D movies. Got to wear that second pair of glasses. So I never bought a 3D TV. I have no intention of wearing 2 pairs of glasses while trying to watch television.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no doubt that if it's going as far as I think it is, a prescription idea for the lenses seems more than feasible.
Well, I don't know. It depends on how the lens has to work to make the light hit your eye properly.
Yeah, that's also a factor.
Yeah, because the question is, can it both bend the light coming to the glass naturally in a way that allows your eye to see it properly for those people who require glasses, and can it also bend the light from the projector properly?
Yeah.
Because if it can't do both, then you can't have them be prescription. It's just not the way it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of fucking questions. Because this company is super secretive. They are so secretive, in fact, that one of the things they are doing that I don't think any other company is doing. Most of these things, at least for prototyping, and even after prototyping, VR headsets and stuff, they would they're basically using like cell phone components and shit. They're getting pre-made screens because they're cheaper to get screens that are already being made for cell phones and shit, and slapping them into these devices.
Wow.
Yeah, like the Oculus was originally built using cell phone screens. And to the best of my knowledge, they are still using higher end cell phone screens, but they're still using cell phone screens because it's more expensive to have, like, if let's say the Oculus Rift is only selling like 1 million units this year, right? Mm-hmm. Rather than being 1 million of the 500 million screens that were produced for cell phones, they had to have 1 million custom made screens. You just end up with more expensive screens that way, which raises the price. So to keep costs down, they use existing components. Magic Leap not using any existing components. They are straight up manufacturing all their own components. Everything is custom designed, being custom built in their factory, in-house, in Florida.
Yeah. And
somehow their factory is set up to be scalable.
Yeah.
So they'll have the 100,000 units their first year, but they can move up to their PR says they can do more than 1 million units a year without adding anything to their factory. So yeah, they are looking at completely custom components, doing a brand new thing. And like I said, if they manage to get it to look like a regular pair of glasses and can work with people who have current prescription glasses, then they will blow Google Glass and Microsoft HoloLens out of the water. HoloLens is trying to do basically this exact same thing, but it's got that limited field of view. It looks stupid.
It does.
Nobody's going to be wearing those things around. These Magic Elite people, they sound like they want you wandering town. Just wearing them all day. You get up in the morning, you put the damn things on, and you wander town. And you do whatever.
Sounds kind of like what Pokemon Go tried.
Well, yeah. To be fair, if this is as cool as it sounds, I'm sure Niantic's moving Pokemon Go to it.
That would be... Oh my... I have any reason to play Pokemon Go again! Beyond the fact that they might be adding Gen 2 soon. Please?
Now, the big question that you have to ask with this is privacy concerns.
Yeah.
Because, in order for this to work super well, it has to be tracking where you are at, like, all fucking times.
Yeah.
And if it is tracking where you are at all fucking times, then, who gets that data? How long before it's being recorded and sold off to advertisers? How long before you're walking down the street and all of a sudden you get an email from Domino's going, "Hey, did you know you're a block from Domino's? You want to stop in for lunch? Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't been doing that with current cell phones, but current cell phones also don't need GPS data for, all the time. In fact, my phone, I have my GPS turned off as often as I can. It saves battery life for starters. But, with this, in order for it to work well, it's kind of got to know a lot of information about you. How long before advertisers get a hold of it? How long before fucking governments get a hold of it?
Yeah, and that's the part that now that you bring that up, I'm even scared about. I'm sitting here thinking, I want this to happen. I want this to happen, but at the same time, I want my privacy still.
Yeah. So that sort of thing has to be considered. Is it something where the computer system can have all of this information and then, like, delete it when you're done and still work properly?
I would hope that's the way it would work. It
well,
seems...
the problem is it going to end up working like, say, voice recognition software, where it needs to keep the information about your voice, the little nuances it picks up as it learns from you, to be better? How much of this information falls into that category, where it is gathering it over a long period of time to improve iteratively on its effectiveness for you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, privacy concerns on this are big, and I don't know what the company's plans are. They haven't said shit. They haven't said how much it's going to cost. They haven't said when it's going to come out. People are guessing sometime in the next 18 months, and price tag of $1,000 or more. Right there, if that's how much it costs, it's certain Generation 1 is certainly not going to be widely adopted.
Yeah, it would definitely take a while for everyone to fully be like, hey, let's pick this up because of the price alone.
But then again, it also kind of sounds like they are building their own ecosystem. So it's also possible that it'll be $1,000, but it will launch as, like, if you sign a 2-year contract with Verizon, you get this instead of a cell phone.
That'd be interesting. I'd be up for that.
Because let's face it, I don't know if you've priced cell phones without a contract, but smartphones especially are stupid expensive. I mean, the latest iPhone is like $800 to $1,000 without a fucking contract.
Yeah.
So if they manage to partner up with companies so that you are not buying it at full price, maybe they'll get it adopted more quickly.
Yeah.
To be fair, I hate that model because we've artificially lowered the cost of cell phones, which now has bound everybody to cell phone contracts for the most part. I mean, we're slowly getting away from it, but there for a number of years after the first smartphone came out, you were bound to a contract, basically. very few people could afford a smartphone without a contract. But with a contract, phones were so dirt cheap, anybody could have a smartphone. Now everybody wants a smartphone. So, yeah, now everybody's kind of stuck with a contract because they still want the latest, greatest smartphone, but can't afford the $800 it costs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't want that system with this new technology. I want it to be untethered. I want it to be affordable without propping up some other industry.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that now they bring that up I'm concerned about too, because it's like, don't get me wrong, I love my phone and everything, but I don't want to have that happen where it's like, it kind of locks certain customers out of the possibility of even thinking of owning this type of thing.
Well, I mean, technically partnering with the cell phone companies and stuff made it so that more people could access it.
Yeah.
But it is now tying you to cell phone carriers. I don't like it because it's giving cell phone companies power that I don't think they should have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to have that kind of power where they get to decide, what's useful, what's important. They get to decide what kinds of cell phone they're going to accept as a new phone this year, and oh no, we're not working with Google anymore, so we aren't going to get you the new Google phone. Now you can have this instead. When the iPhone originally came out, it was only available on AT&T. I just as a freedom type person and a more free market guy than a communist guy here. I mean, not saying that nothing should ever be regulated. Let's face it. A lot of situations I think should be fucking regulated because once again, the company has more power than the individuals involved. And this is one of those cases where I think that the partnering the way that phone manufacturers have with cell phone carriers has given cell phone carriers more power over people than I want them to have.
Yeah.
And with this new device, even if it's more than $1,000 at launch, I'm really torn because once again, like smartphones, getting them into people's hands is a very useful thing. The technology won't take off if you don't get it in people's hands. But I don't like the thought of giving cell phone companies or any other company power over the system the way smartphones being tied to cell phone companies gave cell phone companies so much power over the smartphone business.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with that. It messes with freedom of choice, and it messes with the market, and I hate it. Like, if I wanted to become a cell phone manufacturer, I either have to make a dirt cheap phone, which automatically means nobody's going to want to buy it because it's not going to be as good as the high-end phones, or I need to bow down as a company to what Verizon and AT&T and Sprint say, because they're pretty much the only fucking game here in the United States as far as cell phones go. So they have me over a barrel,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have the customers over a barrel. And if AT&T sucks, it's going to look bad on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
because AT&T screwed something up, or Verizon, or Sprint, or whichever frickin' company screwed something up. I don't like those middlemen.
Yeah.
So I'm really torn because if this device, which sounds awesome and sounds revolutionary and sounds literally game-changing, like the smartphone was, if it is being kept out of people's hands due to cost, that's bad.
It is.
But if we've got frickin' cell phone carriers or whichever company steps in and enacts control over it, now that's bad too, and I don't know which is going to be the lesser of two evils in this case.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I don't know enough about the fucking device to make those sort of decisions because I hardly know anything about the damn device at the moment. It's
right
entirely possible that the cost is nowhere near as expensive as they think. It's possible that the company is willing to sell the hardware at a loss because, like Apple, they're setting up their own store infrastructure, their own app store infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they are willing to take a loss on the hardware because they think the software sales are going to do gangbusters. And they want the software sales. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. It's all speculation at this point. And
everything is speculation about this. But no, it looks revolutionary. It looks game-changing. And to be fair, a lot of big tech companies are with me on this. I mean, Google's in for over $500,000. I was reading reports that this company has made the most money in 3 rounds of financing than any other startup in history.
What was like $1 billion?
Yeah, they've made like $1 billion and they haven't announced or sold a product since the company started 6 years ago. And they've been given $1 billion from investors. Investors are believe so much in this technology that they've given this company $1 billion fucking dollars, and they haven't even given out a product. The only other industry I can think of where this has ever happened is the defense industry in the U.S., where the government will literally hand over blank checks to all sorts of people and just tell them to go hog wild making defense things.
This is definitely looking like a revolutionary thing, and I'm hyped as fuck for it.
I first saw this article on Forbes yesterday, and it blew me away. I delved into any article I could find. I went to Reddit looking for information, and I dislike Reddit immensely. Not because there's anything wrong with the people on the site or the information on the site. I just dislike the format of the site, the way it's set up. It is a wall of information. It is just overwhelming, and you literally need to learn how to use Reddit to learn how to sort through that wall of information to find what you want. And I don't have the patience to do that. Reddit should be more user-friendly. It's not, and I don't use Reddit because of it. But I went to Reddit and I suffered through their horrible, horrible interface to find out more information about this. I couldn't find any more non-speculative information than what I already had from other articles. The Gizmodo article I had read, the Forbes article I read. I saw a couple Wired articles about it. All this shit. It looks revolutionary, and I am super excited, but there are also so many things that can go wrong. So many ways this could bring about the new Big Brother state, that I do not want the government to know where I am all the damn time. I don't want them to know my every shopping habit. I don't want fucking advertisers to know my every shopping habit. But then again, I also do a lot of shopping at Amazon, and I've got an Amazon account, and Amazon knows a lot of my fucking shopping habit. This information is already getting out there, and I don't particularly like it, but I also still shop at Amazon. So, if this is cool enough, will I find myself going, the government always knows where I am, whatever, look how cool this glasses is. I mean, I may be doing that. That may be the kind of thing I'm doing.
It's just it looks awesome.
All right, Wesley, I got one more really, really out there idea I came up with. Especially if this has some sort of audio thing. And I think it would be super cool if it had some sort of audio so that you didn't necessarily always have to wear headphones. Like one of those things that like you basically like it hangs around your neck and it's speakers. They're loud enough so that you can hear them, but not so loud that it bothers other people unless you're a douche and you crank them.
Which was me for a while at D&D. Go on.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? I know a lot of people do it with actual headphones, but there's like the ones that look just, like it looks like a necklace almost.
Yeah.
But it's got a couple of speakers on it,
Mm.
Maybe if it was paired with something like that, so that you could wear the headphones all the damn time. I have this game idea, and you have to tell me about whether or not you'd find it fun. Obviously, I doubt anybody's going to come out with this game without a few more protections, we'll say, that I'm offering in my suggestion here. But it could be either a spy thriller or a horror game would be another one. Something like that where it is always on. You could literally just be walking down the street one day, talking to some friends, and all of a sudden a fake phone booth is projected from the device, and you hear it ringing. And you answer it, and it is somebody giving you the code for your new spy mission you have to engage in. And now you're wandering around town, shopping at Walmart and shit, and, like, guys with guns leap around the Walmart shelves to shoot at you, and now you have to whip out your gun and shoot back in the middle of shopping at Walmart.
I want it now. I want it now. Spy thriller, go. This needs to be a thing.
But it could probably work with horror, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like right now, I am sitting in my office, recording this podcast. It's gotten dark here in Minnesota. As I've been sitting here, I haven't gotten up to turn on the light in this room because I've been having a podcast for several hours now. And it's kind of dark. If I had this system, I could suddenly have ghosts and other creepy stuff like start appearing out of the corners of my eyes and
oh my gosh, this needs to be a thing.
To be fair, the whole spy idea thing is not an original idea of mine. I don't remember back when I was in high school, there was a thing in Newsweek magazine talking about somebody who set up a game kind of like this. Crap, what is that Michael Douglas movie? Give me a second to look it up on IMDb. You probably haven't seen it. I'm going to feel bad. And then I'm going to tell you have to watch it.
That's how it usually goes.
Let's see here. Michael Douglas. The Game. Look at that. It's just called The Game. Have you ever seen Michael Douglas in The Game?
No.
Okay. For anybody in the audience who hasn't seen The Game, and for Wesley who has not seen The Game, I am going to read the brief summary here on IMDb. Nicholas Van Orton is a very wealthy San Francisco banker, but he is an absolute loner, even spending his birthday alone. In the year of his 45th birthday, the age his father committed suicide, his brother Conrad, who has gone long ago and surrendered to addictions of all kinds, suddenly returns and gives Nicholas a card, giving him entry to unusual entertainment provided by something called Consumer Recreation Services. Giving into curiosity, Nicholas visits CRS, and all kinds of weird and bad things start to happen to him. We're talking things like he's in a taxi cab that drives off the road into San Francisco Bay with him in it. Someone starts framing him for, like, corporate espionage. He gets drugged and left in Mexico. You ever seen any of those t-shirts, like, I was something, and all I got was this stupid t-shirt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, he's handed a t-shirt. I was drugged and left for dead in Mexico, and all I got was this stupid shirt. But no, it is literally a game that for like 3 or 4 days completely takes over his life. Almost everyone he runs into is an actor. And it completely takes over his life. And this Newsweek article promised something kind of similar, where you would be getting phone calls in the middle of the night and at random times. Like, you would have to give the company running the game your phone numbers. You'd give them your work number. You'd give them your private number. You'd give them your email address, and they'd start sending you emails, and you would end up in some sort of weird, twisted, noir espionage thing. where you might be getting threatening emails and phone calls and and yeah, this is that, only now we have visuals in addition to weird emails and weird phone calls.
I want it now. Like, now, please.
Yeah. It could be super awesome, but depending on how immersive this technology is, could you imagine if you were like at a restaurant and all of the servers at this restaurant are required to use these because rather than using like a little pad, they record it in their visor or whatever, in the Magic Leap here.
Yeah.
And you can, like, it'll tell you, here's these items, and like it highlights the table that those items go to, so you don't ever deliver things to the wrong table. Cool things. I mean, I can think of all sorts of fun things. But yeah, so you're at this restaurant where the employees are wearing these, and one of the employees happens to be doing this, and all of a sudden he like ducks under your fucking table, pops up with a little plastic gun developed by Weta and starts shooting at unseen people at the door. Or what happens if all of these things are networked so that while this is happening, you see the same people at the door? I mean,
imagine Pokemon Go networked into this.
Well, it would look a lot more like that first reveal trailer for Pokemon Go did.
Oh yeah, but like you could actually reenact the whole people standing on a random route waiting for trainers to come through.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's so many things that this could do.
Yeah. And
that, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the Magic
Leap.
God, terrible with names. That is the Magic Leap. It is an awesome piece of technology in theory. We know almost nothing about it, but I saw this Forbes article. Like I said, it's linked to in the description here. I don't know if we're going to get the Gizmodo article and the other articles I looked into it. I think we should try. I have to go find them again, though, because I didn't write them down. I'm not very good at this.
If you find them and send them to me, I'll just throw them there.
But we'll get them thrown into the video there. But yeah, no, it could be super epic. So long as they overcome the barriers of it needs to be cool. Like, it needs to look cool. Like, you can't look like an idiot wearing it out on the street. And let's face it, there's a lot of people who won't wear regular eyeglasses who are practically fucking blind because they don't look good with glasses on. Mm-hmm. I have friends who will literally complain that they cannot watch a movie with us because they can't fucking see it across the room on the 58, 59-inch television screen. But they won't wear glasses because they don't look good in glasses.
I just don't wear glasses or my glasses anymore because I can see pretty well without them.
Yeah, right. But I know people who can't see but won't wear regular glasses.
Yeah.
You're never going to convince those people to wear the HoloLens around all the damn time.
Yeah.
If Magic Leap does what basically amounts to a earphone cable dangling from your ear going to a pocket-sized device, like a cell phone-sized device, that does everything that we've been talking about here today, I think even my loser friends who would rather not be able to see a movie than look a little dorky with glasses might be talked into wearing this.
Yeah.
At least enough people to make it a revolutionary thing.
Yes.
So yeah, no, this can be big. It could be epic. It's got to get the details right. Looking cool while being used is one of them. So far, nothing does that. VR goggles? No, hell no.
You tell me someone looks cool in VR goggles, I have to smack you.
Yeah, HoloLens, oh my god. At least when you're wearing VR goggles, the expectation is you aren't planning on participating with anybody else anyway, because by putting on the VR goggles, you've literally locked yourself off in your own little world. The Microsoft HoloLens, they want you to be wearing that in public. And nope, not doing it, boss. Like I said, I don't know how well it's going to work with the fact that I wear regular glasses. And B, nope, that thing looks stupid. So fucking stupid. Don't want it anywhere near my head in public. Just, nope, not happening, boss.
Yeah. And then...
So yeah, that is the Magic Leap here on our extra episode of the Esoteric Podcast. Look for us on Sundays, usually at 3 o'clock, although that occasionally changes. Check out the changes on Twitter. But yeah, usually Sundays we broadcast live a 2-hour podcast over on Twitch. You can find us at Twitch at the Esoteric Podcast. That link is probably in the description here too. You can find us here on YouTube, which I'm assuming you already did, because, hey, you're watching our video. So like and subscribe us here on YouTube. Check out we do an edited version of our weekly podcast, appears on Saturdays. Cuts the 2-hour podcast down to an hour and a half. Gets rid of some weird tangents and stuff. We do extra videos like this. We do soundtrack, usually video games. We're still working out the basics of what we want to do, but we do reviews of soundtracks for video games. Those go up on Tuesdays. And then we also do other random stuff like this. We're looking into adding even more content. You can find us on Twitter. We are the Esoteric, or at the Esoteric Pod over on Twitter. And if you really, really like what we do, you want us to have, I don't know, a better logo. You'll want us to have cameras so you can see our ugly faces while we're talking.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm majestic.
All right. I was told I have a face for radio, so. But yeah, if you just want to give us some money, help us out so we don't have to work, 80 hours a week at full-time jobs to be able to afford our lifestyles with all the video games and movies and stuff that we have to pay for so we can consume them and give them back to you, or our opinions of them back to you for our podcasts, then you can support us over on Patreon. We are the Esoteric Podcast over on Patreon. I am t.j.bunker. I don't know if I said that at the beginning. Whatever. I am t.j.bunker. With me is Wesley.
Yes.
That has been our opinion of the Magic Leap, or what we think it's going to be, anyway. Wesley, if you've got anything to add, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm done. Talk to you people later.
Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.